Every single day, I get so many DMs. Should I become a content creator in 2026? Do I do long form or short form? How do I grow my followers? How do I get brands to pay me? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashi Adani, and for today's video, I asked you guys to send me every question you have about content creation, and honestly, there were like hundreds of them. So I've decided to divide them into two parts. In today's video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about starting content creation and how to grow your audience. A little intro about why I wanted to make this video. One, because my DMs are always filled with things, and I feel so bad because this is not a one message conversation, neither is this one story or a real conversation. This is a long sit down video, because if you really want to know and if I really want to help, I have to sit down and give you guys all the pros, cons and details about this. So don't treat this as textbook advice, because there is no textbook. This is such a, even after all these years, after 10 years of me being in the industry, it is still such a fluid industry, such a per case industry, that what rules might apply to one person might not apply to the other person as well. So treat this like your general guidebook and not the norm. And also, this is just friendly advice, like as though you're hearing it from a friend. So everything that I say, take with a pinch of salt, because it's been 10 years. I have also made so many mistakes, and I wish somebody was there to guide me early on. I would make lesser mistakes, but koi nahi, trial and error is a huge part of the business, and you will see why. Let's get started. Now, the first question is the most important one. Should you become a content creator in 2026? Yes, the market is extremely saturated. Even there are like thousands of UGC content creators. There are thousands, if not lakhs, of beauty content creators, lifestyle, comedy, all niches and all segments that you could say are saturated. That is not a lie. And in spite of that, I'm here to tell you that you should become a content creator in 2026. Why there is still scope to succeed is because, one, if you have something unique and new that you feel like you're bringing to the table, there is audience for it. Two, everybody who's creating content is still consuming content. So if you are under the impression कि सब content creator बन जाएगा तो consume कौन करेगा? सब consume कर रहे हैं, मैं भी consume करती हूँ content, and any creator who's starting is also consuming. Creators who are 100 times bigger than me are also consuming content. So everybody has a phone, and most of the people who have a phone have social media and consume content. So there is still enough and more eyeballs for your content, as long as you are doing something right. Creators can still grow in 2026, but to accelerate that process, you need to be different from the crowd. You need to be standing out from the herd. A quick example would be Sufi Motiwala. He started very, very recently, and people hate him, people love him. We are not here to comment on that. The point is that he did something so different, which was reviewing people. So even if I don't have a strong opinion on fashion, or if I don't have a strong opinion on celebrities, I still watch his content because he's just so fun to listen to, and the way he talks is just so enchanting. And I might or might not agree with what he's saying, and that is also a conversation starter, which drives a lot of engagement for him. So you need to think to yourself, what are you bringing to the table which is different, which is why people should follow you. When you're seeing your own content, you should feel like, yes, people should follow me for this. It should not be like, yeah, this is as good as that other video which somebody else has created. Your metric should not be somebody else's videos. Your metric should not be copying someone else's videos or copying someone else's personality, because even if you grow in that, it might not be as fast as you expected. And a lot of people who I started creating content with aren't even content creators. They gave up in year 2 or year 3. And I feel like if you're growing at that pace, you might not be as patient as other people. So I feel like it is very, very important to start content creation if you feel like you are bringing something distinct to the table. It doesn't have to be a new category altogether, but if you're doing beauty and there are like lakhs of beauty content creators out there, what are you doing differently? Why should people follow you? over the 1 lakh creators who are already creating beauty content. I also feel like consistency is way more important than anything, because with content creation so far there is no success formula. There is no formula which you be like a 1 2 3 करूंगी तो मैं 100% viral जाऊंगी, ऐसा कुछ है ही नहीं. So you have to keep hitting targets in different directions till you find that, oh, these three pieces or these three styles of content really resonates with me and resonates with my audience, and then you continue doing it over and over again till you're at a level. And once you reach a level also, you're going to want to change that. According to me, consistency is very important. If you are talented and people love your videos, like there are so many people who love art videos and who are amazing at dancing, but if you don't post often enough, people will not follow you, because if you don't take your job seriously, why should people take you seriously? And that is very important. So for me, even if you feel like I'm not as talented, which I genuinely feel sometimes I'm not as talented as a lot of people out there, but I have been straight up creating videos for 10 years, like legit continuously, and that has what has gotten me here. It has been a slow process because there was a lot of trial and error involved and a lot of patience involved, but I did not give up, and consistency is king according to me. Second is how to find your niche. And is choosing a niche really important? I feel like that depends on your career goals personally. Now, if you are someone who can talk about beauty endlessly, you are just talking about beauty over and over again, that becomes your niche. But if you're someone who's like, मुझे dance भी करना है, मुझे comedy भी करना है, मुझे TikTok girl के जैसा मीम्स बनाना है, मुझे ब्यूटी भी करना है, that goes more into the lifestyle category. Now, as a brand, what happens is, now say you are a 100k beauty content creator and you're a 100k lifestyle content creator with the same engagement rate, same views, same likes, same followers, same everything. Like obviously it's only fair if both of these are at the same level. Now, if I am a beauty brand, for example, I'm Maybelline, okay, and I have a mascara that I want to get promoted. Now, the beauty content creator for me will be able to show the mascara. She will be able to deep dive into the features of the mascara. She will show how it's applied. She will show torture tests if that is what I want to do. She is going to drive education. She is going to drive sales for me, directly sales. Whereas with the lifestyle creator, because they do more integrated content, what they'll do is they'll probably show my mascara, reveal 2 features about the mascara in a 40-50 second video, and that is going to be it. While it's giving me great viewership, all it is doing for the brand is driving eyeballs and a brand recall. So when I'm launching, it is important for me to have education and entertainment happening at the same time. But who will I pay more? The person who is driving more sales, which becomes the beauty focused content creator. It's as simple as that. Now, if I am Netflix on the other hand, I will not pay a beauty content creator. I will pay that lifestyle content creator, because that is the person who has the right audience for it. And then when you think about it, entertainment companies are way less spending on marketing on influencers compared to beauty brands. So it is your choice in what niche you want to go, and my advice would be to be the king of your niche, because that is where the money is. So if I am doing beauty content, I want to stick to beauty content. Obviously, I have so many other interests which I like to talk about once in a while, but that will never become my main form of content, because Ashi Adani is a beauty creator, and that is what everybody in the industry knows. So I always get paid like a beauty creator, beauty focused creator. So now you're gonna tell me, Ashi, but what if I want to talk about comedy, and what if I want to talk about books, and what if I want to do this, and I want to dance also? My thing about that is, do that, because people now want to relate to you as a person. But it is important to distinguish a niche with content pillars. If you keep doing beauty over and over again, people are also going to get bored. You are also going to burn out and reach a saturation point. So it is important to keep a mix. For example, I do 4 long form videos in a month. One is going to be a food video, which we've started this year because it helps you target more people. It is more easy to watch. It is not educational. It is just entertainment, and everybody likes watching food videos. 2 videos I'll do of beauty, because that is who I am and that is what I want to talk about, and that is what my community expects out of me. And fourth, which we've started very recently, again this year, is a more personality based content, which would be like a vlog, or it would be organizing my jewelry collection, or it would be DIYing my old clothes, other things which are my interests. So my niche will never change, but I will have different content pillars to ensure that I am not just targeting the same audience over and over again. My audience is also a little bit diversified. So the larger net I throw, the more followers I can get. So that is my advice to you as well, because people will also get bored seeing the same thing over and over again. So you do want to experiment with different genres, please go ahead and do it. Don't make it like 20% this, 20% this, 20% this, 20% this. It has to be 80% your niche, and then 20% can be a mix of whatever else you are interested in. Okay, now you've decided to start content creation, you've decided what your niche is going to be. The next step is going to be, how do I actually go ahead with producing videos? Now I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Arey, the phone quality doesn't matter, the lighting doesn't matter." All that was true according to me 10 years ago, and all that is still true if you're shit posting and you're just doing it to grow followers, because there are so many creators who are from tier 3, tier 4 of India, and they are making videos for fun, and they have millions of views, way more views than I'll ever have. However, very few of them are able to crack brand videos, because a lot of brands might not want to be associated with that person, because that person's audience might not be the target audience for the brand. So it is very important that if you want to make money, you need to up your quality. You need to have good looking videos. If you feel like कि नहीं, मैं थोड़ी videos बनाऊंगी, फिर पैसे कमाऊंगी, और फिर मैं quality up करूंगी, which is what I did, you can do that as well. How you do jugaad is your brain. I didn't used to have a tripod. I used to stack a lot of books, and I used to place like my phone on it. I used to go film on my terrace, because direct light is the best light. Screw every big light box out there, nothing beats the sun. Now of course there's monsoon season, there are clouds, sometimes you might not be able to film, you only can film it in the day, summer might become too hot. Yes, those are restrictions, but if you want to start, you have to start hard. You can start with जुगाड़. There is no कि नहीं तुम्हें iPhone लेना पड़ेगा, तुम्हें tripod लेना पड़ेगा, तुम्हें mic लेना पड़ेगा. All this will make your life easier, and it will take your content up a notch, but this is not required to start. I feel like if you want to start, nothing should stop you, and you will figure a way out. If you're constantly overthinking, this is not perfect, that is not perfect, this is not right, this is not, मेरे पास ये नहीं है, मेरे पास वो नहीं है, I can't do this, then you're going to stay stuck. You have to have the guts to say, screw this, I'm going to do the best I can do, and I'm going to post. That is the way forward. After 100 videos, if you feel like, okay, you will also learn. With each video, there will be a learning curve of how can you do this better, how can you do that better, how you can edit better. At this point, there are so many softwares on the phone that you can use. You can use Premiere Mobile, you can use Edits app, you can use Vita video. InShot also so many people use. You have everything at your fingertips, but if you are still not making the most out of it, not teaching yourself, there are YouTube tutorials for literally everything. So it is your hard work that you need to figure out, how do I edit this video on my own. You can't be like, मुझे editing नहीं आती तो मैं content कैसे बनाऊं. सीखो, तुम सीखोगे, मैंने भी सीखा है. When I had started, there was no phone editing. I have learned software on my own because there was no option. Now you've decided to start filming, and you're gonna ask me short form versus long form content controversy. And now when I'm saying short form, I mean Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. By long form, I mean YouTube long form videos. Now Shorts and Reels are great to attract new audience to your page, to experiment with your content, to also make money, because a lot of brands are paying for YouTube Shorts and Reels. They are not paying that much for long form videos. There is so much that you can do with short form content. Will make you comfortable enough to at least get started. Should you still post long form content? Absolutely yes. नाउ शॉर्ट्स पे भले तुम्हें 1,00,000 व्यूज मिल रहे हैं, बट लॉन्ग फॉर्म पे तुम्हें 10,000 व्यूज मिल रहे हैं. यू स्टिल आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट देयर आर 10,000 पीपल who are willing to watch you talk for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. That is a community. Those are people who actually know you. Those are people who will actually engage with you. Those are people who are actually interested in hearing what you have to say. Those are people who will actually buy your recommendations, and those are people which brands get attracted to. Community is very, very important, and I don't think there is a better way to build a community over YouTube long form video. Yes, it is a pain to create and keep up with, but make it a part of your schedule. I really feel like it's going to make a difference, even if it's statistically or numbers wise not doing the best thing for you. I think it's very, very important, because you are not someone who is making millions of views on shorts and reels. It is still important to show a brand कि भले मैं वायरल नहीं हूँ, मेरे पास एक छोटी कम्युनिटी है, बट एक बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग कम्युनिटी है जो मेरी हर बात सुनेंगे, because they genuinely like me. Now if you're like, no, it's too much pressure, I don't want to, that's totally your choice. I am telling you the best practices to start with. If you're not comfortable with that, you do what you want. None of this is like, अरे मैं ये नहीं कर पाऊंगी तो मैं content creator नहीं बनना चाहती. You do what works for you. I'm telling you what works for me in general, and I've seen what works for other people as well. Coming to an ideal posting schedule, according to me, what I do every single day: Monday to Friday, shorts go live on YouTube, reels go live on Instagram. Every Saturday there is a long form video on YouTube and a break on Instagram. Sunday I take a break on YouTube, and Sunday I post a reel on Instagram. So in a week for me, 6 reels go live on Instagram, 5 YouTube shorts go live on YouTube, and 1 long form video goes live on YouTube. And now if you're in full on Josh and you're like, yes, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna post every single day, and then you do it for a month, you do it for 2 months, and then you're like, shit, I cannot keep up with the range, don't do it. Because हमको बहुत clearly I've attended enough and more meta seminars and YouTube seminars where they have told us, if you break the momentum, the algorithm will not push your content, they will make you pay for it. And that is how the algorithm is built. It's not a personal vendetta, that is how the algorithm is built. Now अगर मेरा समर वेकेशन है और मैं फ्री हूँ और मैं रोज वीडियो निकाल सकती हूँ, बट फिर मेरी कॉलेज चालू हो गई और फिर मैं रोज वीडियो नहीं निकाल पाऊंगी, दैट इज नॉट गोना सिट वेल विद द एल्गोरिथम. सो इफ यू आर सेइंग आई कैन ओनली मेक 3 videos in a week, but I will do it for the entire year, you only stick to making those 3 videos in a week, because that is very important. Long form, obviously a lot of people do vlogmas and stuff like that. I don't think long form really this algorithm rule applies to long form. This definitely applies to reels and YouTube shorts. So know yourself, know how much content you're able to create, and stick to that. Should you start with YouTube or should you start with Instagram? According to me, both platforms are very, very welcoming when you're a new content creator. Starting में तुमको push देंगे, वो algorithm तुमको push करेगा. So start with both, because you are able to post short content on both. So make both pages का profile and post on both pages, and whatever is working out for you, it will give you in fact more data कि YouTube पे ये ऐसा video चला और Instagram पे ये ऐसा video चला. So in the future, if you want to create different content for reels and shorts, I do that. I do very different content for shorts and I do very different content for reels, because that is how it works for me. You can do that as well. How you will discover your unique style is again by posting. The more you post, the more you experiment. And in the beginning, so I would tell you to keep all control under yourself. Scripting, shooting, writing, editing, everything you should do, because then you will be able to play around and see, okay, I can do this better, okay, I can do that better. It is important to do everything yourself so that you know how you can improve. And another reason why I would say stay true to yourself is because people remember voice. You guys, there are like so many food influencers out there, but there is this guy on my Instagram who keeps popping. I don't know his name, but I know his voice, and it is very much like, today we are at XYZ serving the world's best, serving Delhi's best chole, and then like a plate comes. Now,
we're in Goa having what they say maybe might just be the best.
That is a hook that I remember. I don't know that guy's name, but I remember that hook. I remember his voice because that is so memorable. When we are talking about another creator whose name I don't know, but I know his face, and I know because he does this thing where he asks people questions and then he says, that's correct.
That's correct.
There have been Vox Pop videos for years at this point. International creators have been doing it for ages, but people remember that that's correct because he did it first. He made it memorable, and that's his USP. And you might not know his name, like I don't know his name, but you know exactly who I'm talking about because he's made that impression for himself. So it is very important that you create a hook which is memorable and something that nobody else replicates. And the last thing is, how do I grow? Oh my god, I know. I'm going to talk about Instagram and YouTube because how they recommend content is also very, very different. Starting with YouTube. YouTube is an SEO search optimized platform. What that means is कि अगर wedding season चल रहा है और किसी ने भी Google में डाला wedding makeup looks, your video will pop because YouTube is with Google. And so if certain topics are trending, that is the topic you should be making a video on YouTube because that is what people will be searching and that is what will make your page grow. Which is why festive content, for example, दिवाली आ रहा है तो तुम दिवाली के एक महीने के पहले से ही YouTube पे content डालना शुरू करो so that when people actually search for it, your content will pop up. So I feel like with YouTube, it is very important to one, be search optimized, do topics that people will want to know about, helpful, informative, etc. And second would be to also do content in a regional language because according to me, YouTube is used by a more majority audience in tier 2 tier 3 cities. So in my videos also you will see that Hindi I try to incorporate because, and Gujarati also I try to incorporate it sometimes because that connects with the audience very differently and that hook is very, very important to connect with the audience. So I feel like that is how you can grow on YouTube, by just tapping into the right audience and creating the right kind of content. Whereas when it comes to Instagram has a very different algorithm where they see who is saving your video, who's sharing your video, and how long are people watching your video for. Audience retention is very, very important even on trial reels. So if you are posting videos and if you see, तुमको metric में दिखेगा your watch time, okay? If it's anywhere below 5 seconds, your video will not do well. Your best performing videos will be the ones जो people ने end तक देखी है, and that is why it goes viral. So for Instagram, you need to create shorter videos because your goal is to make sure people watch it till the end, and your goal is to make sure that it's so informative that people want to save it and like refer to it in the future, or it's so funny and it's so relatable that people want to share it with their friends, which is why travel content does really well on Instagram. Because if I do a video which is like 5 best hotels in Karjat, people will save it, especially Mumbai people will save it because we go to Karjat very often. So that is the brain that you use behind Instagram also makes sure that there is text or title happening in your video in the first 3 seconds, because Instagram ka scroll time is 3 seconds. Nobody pauses on your video for more than 3 seconds unless they really like it, because people scroll on Instagram very fast compared to YouTube shorts. So your hook has to be very strong. There has to be text, there has to be sound effects, there has to be so many elements happening in one frame at the same time so that people actually watch your video beyond 3 seconds. When you're posting a piece of content, think, is this funny? Will people share it? Or is this so informative that people will save it? You could be wrong. Your prediction could 100% be wrong. Maybe something didn't strike a chord with the audience. Maybe it was a personal thing कि तुम्हें लगा ये informative है लेकिन किसी और को नहीं लगा. That's fair. But when you are posting, you want to make sure कि तुम्हारे checklist में at least it's either savable or shareable. And with YouTube, like I mentioned, a loyal community is way more important than followers. So I would highly urge everybody to start long form. Even if you're doing it once a month or twice a month, stick to that once a month or twice a month. Be like, every 15th of every month I will post a long form video. Tell your audience that and make sure every time I'm signing off a video I say next Saturday, ताकि audience को पता चले कि मैं हर Saturday को post करती हूँ. And it is going to build that recall. It is going to build that connection with the audience. Your favorite people on the internet are people who do long form content, and why they are your favorite people on the internet and why you know their names is because you know so much about them. You know how they live, how they who their family is, what their favorite beauty products are, what they hate. You know all of this. Sometimes you even know when their period date is, because that is how much that person is sharing with you, and that builds a connection. Should you run ads? I feel like no, that is a very big mistake, because what happens with Meta is that once you start giving them money, they will not push your content organically. They will be like, इसके पास पैसा है तो ये पैसा भरेगा तो ही उसका content push होगा. And if content is being shoved in your face, like if products are being shoved in my face, I might or might not want to check out that brand. But if some person is being shoved in my face, I feel like that's a very weird way to be. And I feel like in the future also, when you are getting big in the industry, वो टैग लग जाता कि अरे इसका तो एड्स मैंने बहुत देखा है काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग. सो आई फील लाइक इट इज बेस्ट टू स्टे आउट ऑफ दैट कॉन्वर्जेशन. तुम कंटेंट ज़्यादा डालो बट एड्स रन मत करो. तो you pay an editor over paying money on ads. You push your content however you want but don't do ads, because organically अगर तुम्हारा reach ही kill हो जा रहा है पूरे page का, trust me it takes over 6 months to reset that. Why would you want to do that? Don't do it. And that was it from me. This is just part 1. Part 2 is going to be all about PR, money, agencies, how to deal with brands, how to work with brands, how to make money from brands, and all things behind the note. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like it, subscribe to my channel, comment below, and let me know if you have any questions. We might just do a part 3 covering your questions. Let's see. I'll see you guys next Saturday. Bye.